Hey, everybody, welcome back to Bayou Time. Harry McCullough here. We're going to spend the next two segments talking about a great fundraiser for a great cause. And it's amazing to think, but since 2016, we have lost 30 police officers died in the line of action, which is all about what we're going to talk to Ricky False about. He's the founder of After the Mission, and it's a big fundraiser that you do every year. But let's talk a little bit about. We're going to talk about your fundraiser, which coming up. You're going to do you're going to do a lot of work, a lot of energy.
Yeah.
You're going to do a bike ride. But where did this come from? And obviously, there's a, we went through to defund the police and all of this stuff after 2020, and our country's going through COVID. It all seemed like we're all tearing apart, and nobody seemed to be thinking about the police officer. They're trying to work. A lot of times not for that much pay, but putting their lives on the line. And then when you tell me we lead the country
right now,
and the number of people that have died, number of officers have died since 2016, that's incredible.
23, we lead in 23 right now.
Wow. Oh, this year. This year.
23 alone, we lead at 7.
Yeah, which is incredible. So where did this all come about?
Well, when I was doing a bike ride for the veterans 2 years ago, and when that was all done, Jeff Landry's a big backer of mine. He's a big supporter, and he flew out to D.C. when I did that ride, and to show his support. And he asked me,
After the Mission, right?
Yeah, when I did the bike ride for the homeless veterans,
Right,
and he wanted to know what I heard in those homeless camps, so he could fight for them in Louisiana. Well, I was speaking to him, and I was asked. I said, Jeff, I'd like to do something for the police on my next ride. This was a year and a half ago. It just takes time to put things like this together. And he had mentioned the officer in Baton Rouge that was shot and paralyzed from neck down. I think Nick. I want to pronounce it Tuya Tiller.
Tuya, yeah.
And he said that guy, they always trying to raise more money for him for home care. They needed special stuff, wheelchairs and stuff that unfortunately the insurance had ran out that was taken care of, and they needed help. So Jeff and I was going to put the ride together, and the money we raised was going to go to him to help his family take care of him. But unfortunately, he passed away in, I believe it was May.
Yeah, it was this year.
I said, I called Jeff. I said, what should we do now? And he said, he was talking about it in different nonprofits, and I said, well, if I'm gonna go through that much torture on that ride, that I'd feel better if it went to After the Mission, that I found it. That way we know that the money's going to go to helping veterans and law enforcement. When I founded it, we made it definite in our paperwork that first responders, because of Nick, because of firemen that can fall and break their back, and that insurance in the department only has enough funds to help them a certain amount.
Right.
And that's where we can step in. That's what the money's raised for. So we kept trying to think of a route, and we thought about just the whole state of Louisiana, but the logistics would have been a nightmare. Thank God that Todd Terrell with the United Cajun Navy stepped up. Of course, Sheriff Tim Sonjay's always got my back with this. So it's been a lot of logistics, lining people up on getting a route and stuff. So we decided, if anything in Louisiana is going to change, it has to be done at the Capitol. So we're going to leave from the Capitol on Friday at noon. So if anybody wants to come stand with us and make a statement that we stand by the blue, we're going to start rendezvousing there around 11 a.m. And we're going to take off at 12. This is a 24-hour event. We're leaving at 12. There's going to be multiple cyclists with us. People can drop off as they want. They can jump in and Covington and stuff as they feel free to come in and go as they please. But 3 of us are riding 24 hours. Once we get to New Orleans at 601 Tropicula Street, Barcadia, we're taking the back tires off the bike and putting them on indoor trainers. And we're going to finish the next 14 hours indoors.
So this is called the Ride True for the Blue. We have a bulletin here, and this is what you're gonna be riding 24 hours. You're gonna start at the Capitol, and then you're gonna ride from the Capitol. You're gonna go to Slide Out.
We're going to stop at the Police Memorial in Covington. St. Tammany has been a big help last time.
You can ride the Trace to Slide Out?
190.
Okay.
We got full
Tammany Trace too.
We got full police escorts and stuff. The Cajun Navy's, United Cajun Navy's gonna be in there with their toy hauler. My coach flew in from California to monitor, make sure that we're taking the right electrolytes every hour, because I mean, let's face it, people are dropping dead up there in that heat.
Oh, yeah. So you go to Covington, and then from Covington, you're going to ride to Slidell, and from Slidell, you're going to ride to
We're
New
going to hit
Orleans.
the Wrigley's.
And Barcadia, right there on Chapatoulas,
Yeah.
is where you're going to end up. And then you're going to finish the ride there.
14 hours indoors.
Right.
There's two others that's riding the full. I mean, one guy flew in from Utah. He's a big advocate for police and veterans. He took a week off of work and flew down here a week early to adjust to the humidity.
I'll bet. So you're going to do all that one day?
Yeah, we're trying to, the way it works is that people are pledging 50 cents, $1, $5. I got one sponsor doing $10 per mile that I can accumulate in a 24-hour period. So the harder I pedal those last couple hours, the more veterans and law enforcement that was injured, I'm gonna be able to help.
That's incredible. It's a great story. Touye, if you don't, just to start off, it's not just for him, but Touye was one of the guys who was ambushed on Airline Highway in Baton Rouge by the guy that was mad about the thing that happened in Dallas. And everybody remembers that tragic day that those officers were killed. Touye survived, but he later died. I think he killed
Passed in May.
2 or 3. Yeah. So he died this year, is the officer you're talking about.
Which none of them officers had anything to do with that matter.
No. The guy who just kind of going around shooting people, man. And yeah, it was terrible, terrible thing. And it all spurred from the protests that were happening that summer. Everybody remembers that in Baton Rouge. So no, this is a great event. We got another segment to talk about, but a few more seconds here. So anybody can join in with you. Not everybody's going to be able to go for 24
No,
hours.
we're not expecting that. They can ride 10, 5. They can just leave the Capitol and jump out. The key is be at that Capitol any one, even if they standing there rooting us on.
Ride True for the Blue. That's going to happen this Friday. It's going to start at the state capitol. It's going to go through Covington on the North Shore, end up in New Orleans on Chapatoulas at the Barcadia. Great event. I don't know if I could do that. And you're gonna ride for 14 more hours once you get there.
Yeah, that's about 125 miles. Once we get to Barcadia, it'll be about 10 p.m. We're taking the back tires off the bike, putting them on the indoor trainers, and pedaling another 14 hours.
And you said other people will join in, right? It'll be on the internet where people can see your progress and join in if they want.
We're going to log into Zwift. It's a biking app where people from around the world, there's usually 6,000 people around the world riding. Some of my friends from back when I was in Thailand may jump in. That's in Australia and stuff.
So how many miles what's your goal?
250 on the lowest.
Holy smokes.
Yeah.
In 24-hour period. So you're not, we were talking, if you need to go to the restroom, you'll get off.
Yeah.
If you catch a cramp, you can stop for a little while. It's how many miles you can do in 24, not 24
but
straight.
I'm not going to go kick it in the hotel
You're not
room.
going to go sleep?
No. It's get off, stretch if we get a trolley horse, stretch it out.
You're going to at least be up for 24 hours, right?
Oh, I'll be up for 30 something.
Right.
But our special forces guys go through training and they're up 2 days.
Right.
And people say, why are you doing it in the hottest time of the year? Well, one, I own the company Trionator, so I can't plan anything after August 25th because if a storm hits, I have to go. And also, our men and women in blue or black, because they wear black uniforms.
Sure.
They're in bulletproof vests out there standing in the sun. And our soldiers that went to Afghanistan and my uncle in Vietnam, they couldn't pick the coolest days of the year. So if you're truly going to fight for something, fight in the hard conditions.
And you're going to have medical personnel that are there with you, but we were talking, you brought in a couple of people that are going to ride with you, and they're in pretty good shape too, right?
I did. One guy came in from the mountains of Utah. He's a heating and air guy, so he's in the attics all day, so he's used to the heat, condition like me with the trees. He lost, when I asked him to do this 3 months ago, he did not hesitate. He said, I'm in. Anything for the police and the veterans. He went from 280 to 230 in 3 months.
Wow.
He's ready to roll. And then I have another, that's Justin Heiss. Rebecca Scott is an ultra runner. A few months back, she ran 100 miles nonstop in 26 hours. So I'm not picking my buddies lightly on this one.
Right. So they'll be ready to go. Let's talk about why we need to do this. So you saw a need. Look, everything, we were all haywire, between COVID and then, the things happening in between the police where, people started Black Lives Matter, started Antifa, started all that. And we talked about earlier, a lot of times everybody just forgot who they were protesting against a lot of time. And there's so many good people that try and put their lives on the line for us. And those guys seem to be the ones that got forgotten.
Yeah. I try to stand up for anybody who goes and protects us, whether it's home or abroad. You know, and when I say veteran, I don't mean any sex, any race, any walk of life. If they served as a veteran, we're here to help them.
Right.
And the same with the police, the men, women, whether they were born here, they're out there risking their life for us. Somebody needs to stand up for them.
Now, as you said, look, a bad cop is a bad cop, right? You're not standing up for.
Not at all.
You don't get
they deserve what they get.
right.
I'm going to make that clear. We are not standing up any kind of way for any cop that has done wrong.
Right.
We are standing up for the good and the honest ones, like my friends, like Sheriff Tim and like Craig Weber, the ones I've known for years, and they've been out there, you know, dedicating their lives to serving and protecting.
Right. So if people want to get involved with your organization, whether they ride or donate, how do they do that?
You can go to afterthemission.net. And there's a click on there with where you can make a pledge for the event. You can pledge 10 cents, 50 cents, $1, whatever you feel in your heart you want to donate for every mile. There's like a 250 mile on there. Or you can email info@afterthemission.net if you decide to pledge other than one of the numbers that's on there.
Obviously, you were helping homeless vets with After the Mission and trying to find, place for those guys to stay and homes and that kind of thing. With the police officers, how you're going to help? Obviously, with Touye, he needed help at his house for rearranging furniture or whatever it is. Now that he was in a wheelchair, how would this money go to help police officers?
If a police officer anywhere in the country, we are able to help nationwide. We are not just local. If we get a request or we hear that an officer was in the same situation and they needed help with things that the insurance doesn't cover, or a fireman falls, breaks his back, and they need some, we can step in and help. Or let's say if they not making what they used to while they're on disability, or they're home waiting to heal and they about to lose their house, like Nick did. Nick lost his house because of this before he died. We can step in and pay the rent. We can step in and pay the electrical. We can help if they're traumatized. We can help. We've helped one veteran locally with a service dog. We trained a service dog for him. We've helped rehome service dogs.
Yeah, which are officers, considered officers as well, and help their training. So yeah, it's a great benefit. They can get in touch with you if they need help or if they want to help in any kind of way.
Yeah. There are going to be a lot of people cooking on Saturday at 7 a.m. They're shutting down Lafayette and Tropicatulas. At 11 a.m., the music starts playing. It's $20 wristband to get in. You can taste all the different foods. We got 12 or 15 teams. Gilberto over at Nichols is helping with the cooking contest. And they can eat all they want. And whatever food is left over, we're bringing to the Veterans Homeless Shelter. So if anybody would like to come out and cook, no entry fee. And the leftover
right.
food
So
goes
that we didn't mention that, but yeah, part of it is a cooking contest.
Yeah.
And anybody can do it for free. Just show up at Barcadia right there in New Orleans.
Yep.
All right, Ricky. Well, good luck, man. And
Thank you.
we appreciate it. We know you'll make it. We appreciate it, man. We'll be right back with more Bayou Time right after this.